Hey guys, welcome to Island 1. This is going to get you a solid 95 for Island 1. Go ahead and grab yourself Sadia, set her on strong, grab a spike, and you're going to mark this on close. I accidentally marked it on smart, just mark it on close, and start out with a 002, and then you're going to upgrade this one to a 022 on here. Once the ball passes, mark it on smart, so then the spikes hit it, but start it on close initially on here. Once we upgrade to that second one on here to even faster production, we're going to go ahead and throw another spike kind of right where the divot where it starts turning on here. We're going to go ahead and place another one. And then we're going to start that spike factory as a 002 as well, but it's going to get upgraded to a 032 on here. And we're going to eventually just spam a bunch of MOB shredders. Go ahead and once it kind of gets out of range on that first spike, sell it to upgrade to the MOB shredder on there. A lot of these are going to be marked on close as well too, just so it's targeting the boss, and then you might have to change them from close to smart, just so it's always hitting the boss. And as you're placing these spikes on here as well too, be mindful of the placement. You kind of want to place them as close together and as close to the edge as possible. If you place them better than what I do, you can fit them kind of side by side in that little section right there where he's at, but I placed them poorly and I couldn't kind of fit them in there. But basically just keep spamming these spikes on here. You might have a few balloons that leak by, but that's completely okay on here. Eventually, though, we are going to need a little more defense for the balloon leakage. So you're going to see me place a wizard, and then that wizard is going to be a 130 to start out. Eventually, it will upgrade, and then we also need camo detection as well too for that druid. So you're going to see me go ahead and place a village just to kind of help with camo detection, but you don't need that quite yet. Just kind of keep spamming. The goal right now is to kind of continue placing as many spikes as possible to get as much damage to the boss early on here. So you really don't want to add any other defenses until we start upgrading a lot of the spike factories. And then you're going to go ahead and see me place that for camo detection and then upgrade the druid one more time. That will upgrade to the druid of the forest, but before you do, just kind of put it on slow and monitor and keep adding the MOB shredders. Once the balloons kind of get too much, you're going to see a MOB come out. When the MOB comes out, you want to have your druid of the forest out to handle all of the balloon leak. And just a reminder, guys, with Phayze, remember, it needs camo detection, so it needs to be able to pop camo in order to be able to target the ball. So every tower you place, just be mindful and make sure you cross path it with camo detection as you're putting them out, or it's not going to hit the boss, it's just going to hit the other balloons on here. So you're going to see me keep spamming these MOB shredders, and that's what we're going to be doing, but you are going to see kind of MOBs pop out because of how far along we are. When it does, we need to go ahead and upgrade to the druid of the forest. So sell some of the back spike factories if you need to, as you're going to see where I do there, and upgrade to the druid of the forest on there. Soon as you get that druid of the forest, keep spamming as many MOB shredders. You really want to kind of continue this path all the way until you get kind of past that hut there, because you're in a good portion of the map where you can continue spamming these as well. I will throw a elite sniper out as well too, and that's going to be cross pass with middle path for the camo detection. So it's going to be a 025, and then we will continue to spam these MOB shredders. I'm going to place a T5 spike. It's going to be a 250 on here. And then once I get the T5 spike, I will do a little more of the MOB shredders just because it's not past that hut there. But here in a second, after I place a few more, we're going to switch to a T5 sniper again. But this time it's going to be a 520, and make sure that you mark it on strong on here. Pretty much all of your towers that you place, you want to mark on strong so it's targeting the boss here. But ultimately what we're trying to save up for is as early as possible is going to be a T5 spike. It's going to be the top path. We want a 502 on here. And so we want to be able to create that as quickly as possible. So if we need to sell the other towers in order to create it, that's what we're going to do. So you're going to see me do this. When you go to sell your other towers, start with the low tier. So all of the mob shredders, sell those first, and then turn around and sell your other towers. You might not need to sell every single tower, but you might have to sell the majority, but then we'll just end up rebuilding because that T5 spike is going to do a lot of damage. So you're going to go ahead and see me do that, and then turn around and sell the other towers to get that T5 spike on here. And then I had enough when I did mine to keep the Druid of the Forest here. We will go ahead and rebuild, though, our T5 spike middle path here. So it's going to be a 250. Once we get our T5 spike and make it a 250, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place a helicopter next. And the helicopter is strictly just to move our T5 spike factory. If you use the middle path on the helicopter and you just need to make it a 240, or if you just want to not even do the top path or cross path, you can just make it a 042, because ultimately the only thing we're going to be using it for is just to move the spike on here. So that is important to go ahead and create that. And then when it refreshes, we just want to make sure that we move it with the boss as well too. And then the next thing, we want to go ahead and upgrade to our elite defender. We're going to rebuild that, and we're going to go ahead and make it a 025 when we do this. On your T5 spike, just make sure when you move it, you can mark it close, and then as it starts going farther away while you're waiting for it to refresh, you can mark it on smart, and then the spikes will kind of move with it while you're waiting as well too on here. And then we're going to go ahead and place our T5 sniper again, the 520. We're going to rebuild him and make sure that you mark him on strong as well too. And once we go ahead and build that, also to make sure you're using your ability. So if the spikes refresh, go ahead and use that on there. That's the most important one out of there. But then once we go ahead and get our T5 spike here, what I'm going to go ahead and place next is going to be the plane on here. And I'm going to put it on the left-hand side. It really doesn't matter where you place it, but it is going to be a 025 on here. You are going to see me sell the snipers on here, because where I did place them, when the boss kind of goes around to the one hut, it's going to block its range there, so they're not going to be effective for a little bit on here. So I decided to upgrade to my plane as a T5 on here, and I'm also going to pair this with a village, and we're going to make that village a 240, and then we're going to constantly use the ability to basically kind of overdrive the plane on here as well too on there. So that's what I'm saving up for. And then, like I said, you're going to see me continue moving the T5 spike factory, and then I will sell the snipers just because I want to try to upgrade the plane on the left hand side as quickly as possible, especially as it goes around that little hut, and then the snipers lose vision. So we're just going to continue saving for the T5 plane as it kind of loops around to the right and the snipers lose vision. If you place them where I did, just go ahead and sell them, so then we can upgrade as quickly as possible to the plane. As soon as you do that and you upgrade to the T5 plane, you're going to go ahead and immediately place a village next to it, and you're going to make this a 240. Make sure that you use the call of arms anytime that it refreshes, because it's going to boost that over here. Once we get the call of arms, I'm going to build additional towers around that to kind of help boost them. So that's what I'm going to be working on after I do that. So you're going to go ahead and see me place a sniper within range of my village, and I'm going to go ahead and make that an elite defender, and I'm going to make it a 025 on there, and then just make sure that you mark it on strong. And then just a reminder, make sure you're using the ability as well too. And don't forget to move your T5 spike as well too. Like I said, you can mark it from close to smart, and it will help on there of like where the damage is going as well too. So then now that we have our elite defender, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and place another plane. And the other plane that we're going to do the top path. We're going to make this a 520 on there. And make sure on the planes, if you have the monkey knowledge, mark it on Wing Monkey. It's better for hitting the boss and hitting the balloons as they come out. And after I get the T5 plane here, when I upgrade it all the way, what I did in the video is I wanted to add additional damage to the back to make sure that we had the tower in the back to kind of help with the balloon cleanup and the damage for those. So I went for a druid top path and I upgraded it to a 520, but I would modify this if I was doing this personally. After you upgraded the T5, what I would do is I would go ahead and in range of your village, grab a sniper and upgrade to a 520 and put that in range there. I would not do the druid on there, so definitely I would make that adjustment there. This is going to get you to 95. It's going to be a solid score for Island 1 on there. I will see you guys very shortly for Island 2. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Remember, if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you subscribe, like. It truly helps my channel. And thank you guys. Bye.